Hey everyone, ready to dive into something that's got the copywriting world buzzing.
Oh, yeah, definitely buzzing.
Mark Passetti, you know him, right? CMO, built 10-figure businesses.
Yeah, I know, Mark.
Dropped this post online, and it's basically like a truth bomb, you know,
Yeah.
about where freelance copywriting is headed.
It's causing quite a stir, for sure.
And it sparked a lot of debate.
It has a lot of strong opinions out there.
It has. So we're gonna break down, Passetti's claims.
Yeah.
And give you some takeaways, to help you
Yeah.
stay ahead of the curve.
I love it.
So right off the bat, Passetti says, yeah, there's still gigs out there for copywriters. Like you can definitely still make a good living. But he makes this really pointed statement. The copywriters who are getting those gigs are changing fast.
hmm
What's driving that shift?
Well, he points directly at AI and specifically ChatGPT as a major disruptor.
hmm
It's raising the bar in terms of what clients expect. Just being able to string words together nicely isn't enough anymore.
Makes sense. I mean, I've played around with ChatGPT myself, and it can crank out some pretty decent copy. But Passetti goes deeper, right? He's not just talking about writing quality.
Exactly. He's talking about results. He says over half of the copywriters making good money can write well, but how many truly understand how to convert? How many get pixel training, engagement optimization, and all the compliance stuff that's constantly changing? That's where the real value lies.
So it's not just about being a good writer. It's about being a marketing strategist almost.
Precisely. He's pushing copywriters to think beyond the words themselves and understand the mechanics of persuasion, the nuances of the market, and the ability to consistently drive results.
And he doesn't stop there. He challenges copywriters to develop multiple positioning angles that not only convert but also scale. That's a whole other level, right?
It is. And he argues that too many copywriters get stuck in a niche churning out the same types of copy. In a world where AI can increasingly handle those basic tasks, that approach just won't cut it.
So what's his advice? How do we as copywriters avoid becoming obsolete in this rapidly changing landscape?
Passetti's pretty blunt about it. He says stop falling into the trap of just positioning yourself to write endless Facebook ads for, say, supplement companies. It's too easy for offer owners to replace you, especially with AI in the mix. He even shares an anecdote about a copywriter-turned-offer-owner who created what Passetti considered to be the best dating book for men he's ever seen.
Wait, better than his own stuff. That's a pretty bold statement coming from Passetti.
It is. And his point is that he was then able to use this ebook's positioning and content as a prompt for a chatbot to rapidly generate high-quality landing pages and advertorials.
So he's basically saying that if he can outperform a top-tier copywriter in under an hour using AI, the clock is ticking for those who aren't adapting.
It's definitely a wake-up call. He's highlighting that the real edge in 2025 isn't about writing more copy. It's about understanding what truly moves markets and positioning yourself accordingly.
Okay, so I'm ready for the big reveal.
Yeah.
What is the real edge, according to Passetti? Where should copywriters be focusing their energy?
He emphasizes three key areas: positioning, awareness, execution, and a deep understanding of your market.
All right, let's break those down one by one. What exactly does he mean by positioning awareness? Sounds a bit abstract.
It's about going beyond simply writing good copy. It's about understanding the competitive landscape, identifying unique selling propositions, and crafting messaging that truly resonates with the target audience on a deeper level.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but about the strategy behind them, the why behind the message.
Exactly. It's about knowing why certain messages work, why others fail, and how to position an offer for maximum impact. And that requires a real commitment to understanding your market. Passetti is adamant that if you want to write health copy, for example, you need to be spending at least 2 hours a day immersed in that world, reading and writing about everything health-related. Superficial knowledge just won't cut it.
So become a mini expert in your niche. Don't just rely on what the client briefs you on.
Right, you need to become a true authority in your niche, able to speak with authenticity and provide valuable insights. Otherwise, he argues, you'll be outpaced by both AI and by copywriters who are putting in the work to become true experts.
Okay, so positioning awareness is key. What about execution? How does that fit into the equation?
Execution is about bringing that positioning awareness to life through skillful copywriting. It's about translating your understanding of the market and the target audience into compelling, high-converting copy. This goes beyond just writing skills. It's about mastering the nuances of persuasion, understanding human behavior, and crafting messaging that triggers the desired response.
So it's like the bridge between the strategy and the actual words on the page.
Exactly. It's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
Yeah.
You can have the most brilliant positioning strategy in the world, but if you can't execute it effectively in your copy, it won't matter.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Passetti throws a curveball and says to stop reading copywriting books. Instead, he recommends diving into books like Meet Your Happy Chemicals, Noise, and Thinking Fast and Slow. Why the Sudden Shift to Psychology and Behavioral Economics.
He's urging copywriters to go beyond surface-level copywriting techniques and delve into the underlying psychology of persuasion. Understanding how our brains work, how emotions influence our decisions, and how cognitive biases shape our perceptions is crucial for crafting truly effective copy. He argues that this deeper understanding is what will set you apart in an age of AI-generated content.
He calls this understanding deeper core heuristics.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit intimidating, to be honest. What does that even mean in practical terms?
Think of it as uncovering the hidden emotional hooks that drive buying decisions. It's about understanding not just what people say they want, but what they truly desire on a subconscious level. You're tapping into those deep-seated motivations that often drive our choices.
So instead of just focusing on features and benefits, you're getting into the psychology of desire, those deeper emotional drivers.
Exactly, and that's where you can gain a real edge because AI, at least for now, isn't as adept at understanding those subtle, often irrational, human motivations.
All right, so we've covered positioning, awareness, execution, and this idea of deeper core heuristics. What's the third element of this real edge that Passetti talks about?
The third and perhaps most crucial element for long-term success is creating your own offer.
Hold on, I thought we were talking about copywriting, not becoming entrepreneurs. What does creating your own offer have to do with writing copy?
That's a common misconception, and Passetti directly addresses it. He argues that creating your own offer is the only true financial security copywriters have in 2025.
I'm intrigued, but I have to admit, I'm a little skeptical. Why is creating your own offer so important for copywriters specifically?
Because it allows you to leverage your expertise and build a sustainable business that isn't reliant on constantly chasing client work. It gives you control over your income and your destiny, which is especially important in a rapidly changing market.
So instead of just being a hired gun, you're building your own platform and your own audience, which gives you leverage and security.
Exactly. And this ties back into the concept of positioning power. He uses his own story as an example. He talks about how when he was starting out, he was broke, had no high school diploma, and was facing extremely limited job prospects. He was on the verge of homelessness.
Wow, that's a pretty stark contrast to where he is now.
Yeah.
What was the turning point for him?
He wrote an ebook called Becoming, The Evolution of Being, and sold it for $17. He admits it was absolute garbage, but it paid his bills, allowed him to buy Christmas gifts, and ultimately launched his career.
Wait, so a $17 ebook changed his entire life? I'm having trouble wrapping my head around that. How is that even possible?
It wasn't about the ebook itself, it was about what it represented.
Yeah.
It gave him positioning power. It allowed him to showcase his expertise, attract clients, and command higher fees. It was the foundation upon which he built his success.
Okay, that's a powerful lesson.
Yeah.
So he's saying that even a small offer, if positioned strategically, can have a huge impact on your career trajectory.
Absolutely. It's about demonstrating your value, establishing yourself as an authority, and building a brand that resonates with your target audience. It's about taking control of your own narrative and positioning yourself for success on your own terms.
So it's not just about being a great copywriter. It's about becoming a savvy entrepreneur as well. That's a pretty big mindset shift for a lot of us word nerds.
It is a shift, but think about it this way. You're already in the business of persuasion. You're already helping clients build their businesses. Why not apply their same skills to build your own?
I see what you mean. Okay, so let me get this straight. Passetti's argument is that to thrive as a copywriter in 2025, we need to focus on three things: developing a deep understanding of our market, mastering the art of persuasion and execution, and creating our own offers to build long-term financial security.
You've got it. And remember, he's not saying that traditional copywriting skills are irrelevant. They're still important, but they're no longer enough to guarantee success.
It's like those skills are the foundation, but you need to build something much more substantial on top of them. You need to become a strategic thinker, a persuasion expert, and an entrepreneur.
Precisely. And those are all skills you can develop and refine over time. The key is to start taking action now.
That's all well and good in theory, but I have to admit I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. What are some practical steps we can take right now to start implementing these ideas? Where do we even begin?
Passetti actually lays out 3 specific actions copywriters should be taking right now. First, shift your focus from simply learning copywriting techniques to truly understanding persuasion science and human behavior.
Okay, so start reading those books he recommended. Dive into the world of psychology and behavioral economics.
Exactly. Dive deep into the psychology of decision-making. Explore the role of emotions in buying decisions and learn how to leverage cognitive biases to your advantage. This deeper understanding of human behavior will give you an edge that AI can't replicate.
Got it. What's the second action step?
Master what he calls mechanism and deeper core heuristics.
Okay, those terms have been swirling around in my head. Can you remind me again what those are all about and maybe break them down in a way that's a little easier to grasp?
Absolutely. Mechanism is essentially about developing a crystal clear understanding of the entire sales funnel. You need to be able to visualize how each piece of copy fits into the overall strategy and how it contributes to moving the prospect closer to the sale.
So it's like having that big picture view of the entire customer journey, understanding how each piece of content nudges the customer towards a purchase.
That's a great way to put it. And then deeper core heuristics, as we discussed earlier, is about uncovering those hidden emotional hooks that drive buying decisions. It's about understanding not just what people say they want, but what they truly desire on a subconscious level. It's about tapping into those deeper motivations that often lie beneath the surface.
Right. So it's about understanding the psychology of desire, the underlying emotional triggers that influence our choices. It sounds like a powerful skill to have, especially as AI gets more sophisticated.
It is, and it's a skill that takes time and practice to develop. But the more you understand these deeper motivations, the better you'll be able to craft copy that truly resonates with your audience.
Okay, I'm starting to get a clearer picture. What's the third action step that Paccetti recommend?
The third, and perhaps most important action step, is to create your own offer.
Even if it's something small, like that $17 ebook Paccetti created back in the day.
Precisely. It doesn't have to be a complex, high-ticket program. The key is to start building your own platform, demonstrating your expertise, and positioning yourself for long-term success.
All right, so those are the three action steps. Study persuasion science master mechanism and deeper core heuristics, and create your own offer. Seems straightforward enough in theory, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot of work to put these into practice.
It definitely requires effort and dedication, but the payoff can be immense. Remember, we're talking about building a sustainable and fulfilling career in a rapidly changing industry.
You're right, it's an investment in our future. And it's not just about the money, it's about building something we're proud of, something that reflects our unique skills and passions.
That's the spirit. Now, to help make these steps even more concrete, Paccetti gives a really interesting example of how to apply these ideas in the real world. He challenges listeners to take a random blood sugar supplement on Amazon, find its hero ingredient, and then create a video sales letter for it.
It sounds like an interesting exercise.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite seeing the connection. How does writing a video sales letter for a random supplement help us implement these three action steps?
It's a brilliant exercise because it forces you to think strategically about positioning, identify the key selling points, and craft a compelling narrative that resonates with the target audience. It's a hands-on way to practice everything we've been talking about.
So it's like a real-world simulation that puts all these concepts into action.
Exactly. And then he suggests using that video sales letter as a prompt to train ChatGPT to create high-converting copy.
So we're not just using AI to replace our skills, we're using it to augment our skills and help us to work more efficiently and effectively.
That's the key takeaway. It's not about AI versus humans. It's about AI and humans working together to achieve greater results.
That's a much more empowering way to think about it. So we're essentially using AI as a tool to amplify our creativity and our strategic thinking.
Exactly. And the more you understand persuasion science and the deeper drivers of human behavior, the better you'll be able to leverage these AI tools to create truly exceptional copy.
Okay. I'm starting to feel a little more optimistic about the future of copywriting.
Yeah.
But I still have to admit, I'm a little nervous about the rise of AI. It feels like the machines are getting smarter every day. Is there even going to be a place for human copywriters in a few years?
That's a question that's on a lot of people's minds. And while no one can predict the future with certainty, I believe that there will always be a need for human creativity, ingenuity, and empathy in the world of marketing and persuasion.
But doesn't AI excel at those things too? I mean, it can generate incredibly creative content, it can adapt and learn from data, and it can even simulate empathy in its interactions.
True AI is becoming remarkably adept at mimicking human capabilities.
Yeah.
But there's a crucial difference between mimicking and truly understanding. AI can analyze data, identify patterns, and generate text that appears persuasive, but it doesn't truly grasp the nuances of human emotion, the complexities of social interaction, or the subtle cues that drive decision-making.
So you're saying that while AI can be a powerful tool, it can't fully replicate the human touch. the intangible element that makes our writing truly resonate with other human beings.
Exactly. And that's where our opportunity lies. By focusing on developing those uniquely human skills, we can not only stay relevant, but thrive in this evolving landscape.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
We started this deep dive talking about how Mark Bassetti's post has been like shaking things up in the copywriting world. And I got to say, I'm feeling a little shaken myself.
Yeah.
But in a good way. I think it's good to be shaken out of our comfort zone sometimes, right?
Oh, absolutely. It forces us to kind of reevaluate, adapt, push ourselves to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's recap what we've learned from Bassetti's, insights.
Mhm.
It's clear that the days of just being a good writer are over. To really thrive in the age of AI, we need to level up our game.
He laid out a pretty clear path, right? Positioning, awareness, execution, deeper core heuristics, and creating your own offer. It's like a roadmap to success in this crazy new landscape.
And what I found super interesting was his emphasis on the psychology of persuasion.
Ah.
It's not just about writing clever words. It's about understanding the deeper motivations that drive human behavior.
That's where the real magic happens, right? When you can tap into those underlying desires and connect with people on an emotional level, that's when your copy truly sings.
And that's something that AI, at least for now, can't fully replicate.
Right.
It can mimic, it can analyze, but it can't truly understand, the complexity of human emotion and experience.
Precisely. And that's where our opportunity lies. By developing our understanding of psychology, by honing our ability to connect with people on a deeper level, we can set ourselves apart in a world that is, increasingly dominated by algorithms.
I'm also still thinking about his advice to create our own offers.
Mm.
It's a game changer, really. It shifts us from being just service providers to becoming, thought leaders, entrepreneurs, authorities in our own right.
It's about taking ownership of our careers and our future. And it's about creating something that truly reflects our expertise, our passion, our unique voice.
Listening to all of this, it strikes me that Passetti isn't just talking about copywriting. He's talking about life, about taking control, about embracing a mindset of continuous learning and growth.
I think you're right. He's challenging us to step outside of our comfort zones, to push ourselves beyond what we think we're capable of, and to create a future that is both fulfilling and financially rewarding.
And he's given us the tools to do it, the knowledge, the strategies, the mindset. Now it's up to us to take action.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, I want you to ask yourself, what's one small step you can take today to move closer to that vision? What book can you read? What skill can you practice? What idea can you brainstorm?
Don't wait for permission. Don't let fear hold you back. The future of copywriting is in your hands.
Beautifully said. This deep dive has been all about navigating the changing landscape of copywriting, and I hope you found it insightful and empowering.
I know I have. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.